Republican presidential candidates are set to take the stage for the first debate of the 2024 election season on Wednesday. But former President Trump says he will not be one of them, saying, quote, "The public knows who I am and what a successful presidency I had, with energy independence, strong border and military, biggest ever tax and regulation cuts, no inflation, strongest economy in history, and much more. I will therefore not be doing the debates." Now, Ron DeSantis' team has responded, saying no one is entitled to this nomination, including Donald Trump. You have to show up and earn it. Other challengers have also weighed in.
Well, I expect it to be even more important without Donald Trump on the stage, because this is the first time voters are going to be able to contrast the candidates and their positions.
I'm actually still hoping he shows up. I think every one of us that have qualified for that debate stage ought to be on the stage, be willing to square off, answer the tough questions, and also draw a bright line.
Donald Trump is afraid to go on the debate stage and answer for being a proven loser.
I think Donald Trump is free to make whatever decision he feels is right for him for the first couple of debates.
GOP voters Brilyn Hollyhand, Christina Ramos, and Kelvin King join us now. Kelvin, you heard the candidates weigh in on their opinion of Donald Trump not being in the debate. Kelvin, what say you?
Well, I understand where they're coming from. You know, running for U.S. Senate here in Georgia, Mr. Walker didn't attend the primary debates either, and I think that hurt him. I think that voters want to see the authentic responses from these candidates when they're standing next to their opponents. I think it's healthy for the opponent. I know that President Donald Trump is thinking that there's no upside, but that's a risk that should be willing to be taken by him in support of the voters.
Yeah, and there was a lot going on in your home state of Georgia with the recent Trump indictment and Ron DeSantis and former Governor Chris Christie meeting with the current governor of that state. So, Christina, with all of that in mind as a backdrop, what will you be watching for on Wednesday?
If I had a magic wand, what I would like to see is that all the candidates that are united, because we are fighting the other side. So I wish that everyone will play fair and they will fight fair. And I hope that they don't attack one another. And I just hope that it really shows the voters why we need to trust a new president, if you will. And the last administration with President Trump, I don't feel like it's necessary for him to necessarily participate in the first debate, only because we already know what his accomplishments are and what is expected of him. And I don't think he has derailed from his past, from the presidency.
Brilyn, question to you now. On Thursday morning after the debate, who will we be talking about as the breakthrough candidate and why?
Sure. Look, I think Nikki Haley and Tim Scott have the opportunity to break through on the debate stage, not necessarily as presidential candidates, but to show why they would be the best possible VP nominee. I think Vivek is going to be the guy that I'm going to be watching. I was with him last week at the Iowa State Fair. I asked him a question, kind of pressing him on this idea that he's been proposing about abolishing the FBI, abolishing the Department of Education. He's not just all talk, guys. He came back and cited actual U.S. code, cited U.S. legislation on why he would support that. I think we're going to be watching him. Obviously, DeSantis is going to be the candidate of the night that gets bashed and bashed and bashed. This could be his chance to flip that around and get his poll numbers through the roof. But if he fails again, win tonight, this could be the nail in his campaign coffin, and we could see, the end of the DeSantis campaign Wednesday. We'll see what happens.
Kelvin, really quickly to you, we have just about 15 seconds left, but actually just give your overall thoughts. Who are you most excited to see on the debate stage?
Well, at this point, I think that Vice President Mike Pence has a chance to stand out amongst his competitors, only because he's the only one on this stage who's been in the trenches with Donald Trump. And the voters want people that are willing to fight, that's willing to carry the flag on their behalf. And this is an opportunity to fail or to float. So we'll see.
We shall see. 9 p.m. Wednesday. Fox and Friends starts right